Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to repair your credit. I'm amazed that how many people still find the channel. And the number one question, other than when people have specific ones about what they're dealing with, is how to repair my credit. They'll say, "Hey, Steve, I got all of these problems. I want to know how to repair my credit." And I want to walk you through it. Some of you heard this before, but I think that it's good to understand the process. And this is a process that you could use for yourself. I'm not talking about if you come to my company, I'm talking about what you have to do to get yourself into having good credit. And I'm going to start it right here. I want to talk first about two people uh, that we are working on their credit. It's taken some time, but I want to talk about something that I believe makes the difference between people who have successful credit repair processes, if we do it or if someone else does it or if they do it for themselves, and people who continually have problems repairing their credit. It comes down to attitude. You got to have the right attitude. I want to talk about these two customers. Uh, One of them, uh, older lady. I think she's like 65 years old. And I was like, "Why are you so worried about your credit?" But she says she really cares and she wants to get it repaired. We've been working on her stuff for it's been at least 4 months, and she's getting some pretty good results, but she's got a lot of credit card debt. And I asked her over and over, did you do these or did you get these cards for your children? Because uh, why would you have like $50,000 worth of credit card debt with various cards? And she said, no, I did it. I did it. And then her friend also had signed up at the same time. And when her friend signed up, she was experiencing a lot of hardship. Her husband had just passed away. She had a ton of medical debt. It was just when she would come to the office, and both of these are local customers that came would come to the office. She would say that nothing works for her in her whole entire life. But the older lady would just look at her and she would just, nod and then continue with what's going on with her stuff. So right away, I didn't say anything, but right away I saw that this individual, the younger uh, lady, had a poor attitude. Well, after a couple of months, guess who ended up quitting, saying, "I just don't want to go through the process." And that what I believe that is that that's fear. People have a big, huge fear of failure. That's why most people don't go for their dreams. That's why you might be watching me here on YouTube and you're like, I could do that. I could do that, or I could start my own business. I see what that person is doing. They're a singer and I can sing. I can be a motivational speaker. I can do all those things, but you don't do it. And that's because your attitude. You have a fear of failures that's so high that you won't even put yourself out there for the embarrassment. You're so afraid of the embarrassment. And the younger lady was afraid of it not working. She was so more afraid of the disappointment that it felt better for her to just quit. And then the older lady, which I'm bringing her up because she came into the office this past Friday, and she brought us some paperwork, and I asked to review it. And she had deletions on her reports, plus where the collector said that they're not going to come after the debt. And I asked her, I said, okay, I knew that the answer to it. I knew the answer to it, but I asked her, I said, because people seem to skip over this a lot. They're like, okay, this debt collector said that they're not going to come to me, but I'm more worried about what's on the report. I don't care about that one because they took it off. And sorry about that, closing my door, employees are coming in. But now, so she was more worried about what was still on there, and she should be worried about what is still on there. But I said you need to look at what this debt collector just did. They took it off your credit and they're stating that they're not going to come after you for the debt. And I said, do you know how much that bill was? And she said, no. And I said, well, let me just show it to you. It's over $8,000. That uh, and I think that you need to understand that that's a big deal because they could take you to court and they could have took your money took $8,000 from you. They could have done that if we didn't do this process. We're talking about $8,000. A lot of people seem to skip over that. Like they just so focused on what is still on there and they don't accept the rewards. And that's where it goes back to attitude is everything. You got to have a good attitude. Now, the other person I want to talk about is her name is Michelle. And what happened with her? And she's local, and I remember she had called the office. She didn't come in because she's not able to come in on she works through the full day and she doesn't want to come on her breaks. But she called in and she was yelling and screaming like I went to my real estate agent because she's trying to buy a house, and they said I need to get all of this. Only thing I need to do is get this Santander off of my reports. And she said, I've been with y'all for 4 months, 4 or 5 months. I think it was 4 or 5 months. And she said that you still didn't get the Santander off. And I said, we've been working on getting the Santander off of your credit reports. And I'm not, uh, you know, we submit the paperwork to the bureaus, we submit the paperwork to Santander based on what happened with the lawsuit. And we were saying, let's just, let us keep pushing. Let us keep pushing because the way that the processes are working right now, the way that the bureaus are working, everything is slowed down and you just never know. Well, just 1 month later, looking at the credit reports, I had logged in because I had it on my desk to make sure that we looked in there to see what was going on with that. And it was a repo for $15,000. They said if she gets this off of the reports, she'll be good for getting her house. The thing that, well, long story short, what ended up happening is all the Santander came off of all three reports. But what I want to make a point of was that she didn't know that it came off the reports. She didn't know. She didn't check. She didn't look. She didn't do anything. And that goes back into again about thinking that you always have to be ready to accept disappointments rather than looking and seeing if you have success. And what some people do is and I see it like this with a lot of people is like they want to look but they're afraid to look, so they'll call customer service to look for them because they're just afraid. And then you have other people that look constantly, but when they look, they're always looking for bad. They're not looking for anything good to happen. And when something good happens for them, they immediately jump over to the bad. Like one of the things that I do a lot, and I've even had to do this with business owners that own restaurants and cell phone stores, and it amazes me with the thought patterns of individuals. And I'm pretty sure I had to go through this learning experience too. So I'm not saying that I'm not in that category. But what I've learned over life is that when you have success, you better celebrate that success. Don't jump over to, well, I've still got this problem. Because what you do is you train your mind to only look for problems. There are uh, situations that could be worked out for you. You had the same problem as another individual, and for some reason, you never succeed, and the other person gets success, and the same process was used to get that person success, and the same process was used on you, and it was not successful. It goes to attitude. Stop waking up in the morning and having a bad attitude. Stop watching or stop waiting and looking for bad stuff to happen. Now, I know it's hard. When you wake up in the morning, you're so used to just, you look over and I got to go to work, or I don't want to wear this mask today. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't have enough money. All you think about is what you don't have, what you don't want to do, when you should first celebrate that you woke up that in the morning. How about that? And then you run good things through your mind. When I wake up in the morning, I start running what I am. I'm what I want to be, what I am, and what I'm gonna do. Not all of the. I don't get stuck in the minutia of what I have to do. I look at the goals of what I want to do, what I want to achieve. I see myself, and you should see yourself. And you're drawn to watching this video for a reason. Don't think that this is some accident. Don't think that this is some algorithm that just brought you here. Yeah, algorithms do work, but there's a reason. You would have saw this video regardless. You would have been somehow, some way, you would have saw this video regardless. And you're drawn to me for a reason. And it could be just a lesson for what I'm telling you right now. It could be just a lesson. It could be to validate something in your life. It could to validate something that's going on, and you needed someone to put that little extra brick on top of it. It could be that type of validation, and it could be for opportunity. It could be to where told you that you need to have the right attitude, and the right attitude means that if something is right there in front of you, you need to have that right attitude so you can accomplish your goals, and that gives you opportunity for today and gives you opportunity for you and your family in the future. So now let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. Um, Repairing your credit. Step number one, repairing your credit, is you need to review your credit reports. And if you don't have all three credit reports and scores, I have a video. Sorry about that. Have not a video. I have go to my website, your the number three scores.com. That's right here. And the link is below here. You need to review your credit reports. And one of the problems that a lot of people have is that they don't want to see what's on their credit reports. They sometimes want to see, or most people will say, okay, let me see what's on there, but they pay more attention to the number. And then they might get comb through and see all the other stuff, but they get a lot of anxiety on that. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people that come and sign up for our services, and they are afraid to know what's on their credit reports, because what they have centered front and center in their mind is that I have bad credit, and that's because other people had said it. That's because they've been denied. That's been because they've seen their scores. So all they know is that I have bad credit. So you need to know what's on your reports. You need to know what's on all three reports. You need all of the data, all of the account numbers, all of the furniture information. So don't try to get these cheapy ones. Get the one that's going to give you all the data. If you're going to work on your credit, you got to have all of the fuel and the tools to do it. And it starts with getting the right credit reports. The next thing is you need to have a strategy in place to accomplish the goal of repairing your credit. We use what I call an 8-point validation process and a phase two settlement process. And but whatever way you want to do it, you just need to come up with a strategy to accomplish what you got. For example, if you have a collection and it's with a third party debt collector, you need to do a validation to them, and you can also submit to the bureaus a validation to them because you technically don't have any contract or anything with them, and you want to see what this is all about. Regardless if it was an account that was with someone before, you want them to reveal, did they buy it, are they assigned, are they hired by the original creditor? This is very important when you're moving forward on repairing your credit because it will put every thing that you, depending on what type of account it is, depends on what type of action you need to take after the bureaus send you the results back and after the furnishers send you the results back. Now, due to COVID, it can take up to 60 days to get results back from the bureaus, and they've mostly only been doing updates in the monitoring services. They rarely ever are sending any documents anymore right now due to COVID. The furnishers will send you the information within 2 weeks on what the account is about, and they're going to probably try to send you some statements or try to say something that you owe this other creditor. And then what you do next, the next step, number 3, is you repeat the process and you review. And when you review, you're reviewing what the debt collectors or even original creditors are stating, and then you repeat and review, and you repeat and review. And then at some point, which we have as step number 4 with our company, is that you potentially go into a phase 2 settlement phase. And that's where if accounts are proven and the only way that you're going to be able to move forward is to come up with a strategy to settle those debts at a discount. That is the way that you would go from A to doing a full process on uh, dealing with the negative credit that you can work on without paying, and getting that removed. And you want to make sure you work with the furniture so you don't have any debts coming after you later. That's step number 3. And then step number 4 would be a phase 2 settlement process where you want to do settlements so you can move forward, because you need to be able to move forward. You don't want to be stuck in doing this for years. We always tell people you need to move forward in a settlement process. We get people to do that if, when you've done your uh, repeat and review, repeat, review. You've done that for a few months, and you know where those accounts are. You know that the responses that they gave you back are legitimate, and you done your research on statute of limitations, done your research to make sure that you don't have the collections coming from multiple companies, or you know that the original creditor did pass that over. Then you can move forward with a phase 2 settlement process so you can move forward with your life so you're not stuck right there anymore. All right, so I'm going to end the video here. Please like this video. Please post your comments and questions. Also, I want to make a quick statement here. When you're looking at my replies, watch out. There's an imposter that has made a YouTube page copy of mine, and I did fax YouTube. You can't call them. I faxed them, told them they need to contact me about that. But if it's me commenting, the owner of a page is going to be outlined in black. So to say, the credit repair shop, and then it'll be in black. That other one that's on there is an imposter. Even the picture is blurred. They've stolen my picture from YouTube and put that on there, but we're working on getting that taken care of. If you have any, if you need to get help with your credit, please visit the website. Um, www.thecreditrepairshop.com. That's right here. Watch the video, what makes us different, because that's going to be, if you can follow that process, that's basically what I just told you right here. You need your credit reports and scores, go to the number 3scores.com. If you need my cease and desist collection activity letters for debt collectors, statute of limitations, and the debt validation letters, those are free. The links are below this video. So I would like to thank you for your time and continue moving forward with the right attitude. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com.